I'm not going to say too much before we get going today, other than when I was younger. I was the youngest of 4 daughters, and my mother at that time didn't work. In fact, she sewed and made our clothes, and she ended up going back to college to put us through college later. But when I was younger, I really wanted to be a brownie. And more than anything, I just wanted the little uniform as a brownie. And I thought they would be like the Girl Scouts and sell cookies and do some fun things outdoors. I love being in the trees. But my parents would always tell me no. And they would always say, we can't afford that. Like, we're not gonna get involved in that. And anyway, later on, when I started teaching yoga and I had my own child, who was a son, he was going to preschool. It was Spring Hollow, off Arnold Road out here. It's this little hippie cool preschool. And I taught yoga there every Friday. And so we had taken them old mats and cut them in half so that every child can have their own mat, and we set up in a circle. And it was really fun coming up with plans for them every week, because teaching yoga to children is completely different than teaching adults, and you needed to capture their attention, you need to get them interested. I wanted to teach them philosophy, but I also wanted it to be fun. So I would bring in books and I would bring in songs, and just made it a lot of fun. And there were some times where I would do like under the sea, and we would be mermaids or crabs, and the meditation would be about going underneath the ocean. And there was one time I had bought a book and it had a CD in it. So it was kind of a bonus, because then we could read the book and then we could listen to the song at the end. And I had no idea that this book was the song for the Girl Scouts. And it goes something like, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other one's gold. Silver is precious, gold is precious, you are precious, and I am precious too. Anyway, it's this really sweet song. And we went through the whole book, we listened to it, and then one of the mothers heard it. And she was like, oh, that's the Girl Scout song. I had no idea. So I heard this little podcast the other day referring to silver and gold. And I want to share that little excerpt with you when you get in child's pose. So come into child's pose to start with. And if you need to separate your thighs to make some room for the chest or belly, feel free. The arms can be outstretched if you want extended child's pose, but you can also wrap the arms around you if your legs are knit together, or the traditional variation. So what I heard yesterday that I wanted to share as our inspiration is this. Gold is where we are going, but silver is the bridge that lights the way. Silver is the purifying consciousness. Silver can give faith over hope, and silver can ground us in the present moment. So I want you to imagine that your body is cocooned. And surrounding this cocoon is a silver lining. Silver is a metal that represents emotions, healing, and love. It provides balance, protection, and helps to increase energy. And then over the top of the head, I want you to imagine like a halo spinning clockwise over the crown. And that gold representing illumination, enlightenment, wisdom, positivity, and the attunement to spirituality. We'll be referencing this again at some point in our practice. But for now, go ahead and inhale, extend the arms out if they're not already. Rock up some hands and knees. Curl the toes. Take your first downward facing dog.
From pressing down to the hands and the feet, start to bend one knee, straightening out the other. And then reversing that. So you're just walking the dog, pedaling out the feet, stretching into the calves and heels. And then slowly begin to step the feet forward to the top of the mat, folding in half on arrival. And it's okay if you need a little bit more separation between the feet or softness in your knees. Nodding the head yes, or no, or blend. And then root the feet down, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. And then exhale, bring hands down your center to your hearts. All right, let's start to flow. Inhale, open and expand. Exhale, dive into self. Inhale, lift and lengthen up halfway. And then exhale, step it down the mat and lower to that low push-up position. Remember, you can always descend your knees. Inhale, open the heart and throat. And as you exhale, rock and roll back. Once here, breathe. Cultivate a rhythm to your breath. And then set your intention to keep it underneath your command, at least till Shavasana. Now on your next in breath, let's go ahead and bring the feet to the top of the mat. You can meditationally walk, you can take a giant step with one foot and the other, or you can float. Lifting halfway up. Exhale, bow back down. Inhale, coming all the way to the top. And then exhale, hands come back to the heart center. We're keeping this going. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, dive back in. Inhale, lift and lengthen out. And then exhale, step it down the mat. Drop and hover. And then inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe. So in certain types of healing arts and healing practices, they'll talk about the earth star being kind of like a chakra below the feet, and the sun star being like the chakra overhead. So in the practice today, if you want to keep with this imagery of the silver and gold, imagine silver plated metal below the feet, the golden halo overhead. Next in breath, let's come forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Ardha means a halfway lift. And then exhale, close back into self. Inhale, standing up, arms reaching to the heavens above. And then exhale, gather what you need and bring it down to your heart. Continue, inhale, float open. Exhale, come back in. Inhale, create some space. Exhale, continue to create space between you and the floor as you drop and hover. And then inhale, extend the vertebrae. Look up with your eyes. And exhale, roll back over the feet. Pausing here, creating this pinnacle for the pose, sending all the energy up towards your seat. Bowing the head to gaze in the direction of your feet. Keep all the knuckles rooting, pressing into the mounds of the hands, lifting out of your wrist. Next in breath, let's bring the feet to the top of the mat, open up the heart as you do, and then exhale, roll it back down. Inhale up to the top. And exhale, hands to heart. We're gonna do one more simple A. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Inhale, keep moving as you lift halfway up. And then exhale, step it back. Build your upper body strength as you move. Inhale, open your heart. Exhaling, rock and roll back. Neutralize your neck. Stay connected to your breath. Maybe even imagining that earth star or silver at the feet, and the sun star or the gold, the crown. Inhale, feet coming forward, spine elongating. Exhale, melt the heart down. Inhale to the top. Exhale, hands to Anjali Mudra. We're moving towards B. So inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms up, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Inhale, create some space. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Now you can step back or float back. Continue to work through the vinyasa. Once in down dog, however, right foot's gonna step through, back heel's gonna lower, arms are gonna lift as you keep lunging the front knee, warrior one. Really accentuate the length from your waist up into the fingertips. Roll open through your right thigh bone. Root down through your back heel. Exhale, hands down. Continue the flow. Now you can always skip the vinyasa and take downward facing dog instead, or child's pose whenever needed. Left foot's gonna launch forward, back heel's gonna anchor, arms are gonna lift, head over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Equanimity of weight between the 2 feet. Eyes set at one place. Release your hands. Step it back. Continue the movement. Pausing in this downward facing dog. Oh, my music keeps stopping. Try again. Inhale, let's bring the feet to the top of the mat. Lifting halfway up on arrival, and then drape down. Inhale, knees bent, arms lift. Exhale, hands to hearts. All right, we got 2 more of those. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Line the sits bones over the ankles. Inhale, give yourself a little upliftment. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, or step 3 plank. Once you move to downward facing dog, right foot warrior one. Last week we worked on different expressions of warrior, so we're just gonna keep it simple this week. Hands down. Continue to flow. And the left foot will be in the lead. Maintain the pose, setting the drishti, and then continue. In the third down dog, we hold and breathe. Meditate on the breath and whatever you're looking at. Inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat. You can meditationally walk, giant step, or float, and release. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to hearts. All right, last one. Inhaling, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, create some space. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows clip into the side body, really use those triceps. Inhale, straight arms, hips up. Exhaling, down dog. Right foot through, warrior one. Find your foundation first and then build from there. Good, hands down. Step back. Vinyasa time. And then once in down dog, left foot steps through. Feel the heat building in your body. Picture that silver lining. Gold on top. Hands down. Last vinyasa for now. Maybe you're not feeling as stiff in your back. Maybe you've loosened up your hamstrings. Notice the changes, notice the shifts. Stay committed to your breath. Inhale, feet land at the top. Exhale, pour down in the middle. Inhale, Utkatasana chair. And then exhale, hands to heart. Now close your eyes. Affirm salutations to the sun and to the awakening light within. To the dawning of a higher state of consciousness in all beings. Yeah. Feet apart, hands to hips. Shoulders back, knees up. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Take the first two fingers around each big toe. And then slowly bow your head. Slightly tuck your chin. And fan your arms out towards the front of the room. Try to attempt to keep the legs as elongated as possible. You're pushing the toe down into the fingers. In this variation of Padangusthasana, inhale, lift the head and the heart. Remove the mudra from the big toe. Stack and stand on each hand. And you may have to bend the knees to get there, and that's all right. Counter position for the hands and wrists. I've noticed that some people shy away from really putting the weight into their hands. So slightly shift forward and apply the weight. The whole point of doing this. We'll gently remove one hand at a time, wrap them back to your waistline. Come all the way up to sleep. All right, now step to the side. And if you guys want to turn this way, you guys this way, might make it easier. With your feet in this nice wide stance, you're going to roll the right foot out. Lift your arms out shoulder height. Push into your hips and stretch over the right leg. And when you're down, windmill the arms. So the right hand comes to stack on the leg or in front or block. And then your left arm's going to sail up overhead. So, let's see how that foot turned. If you turn it back this way, that's going to secure you a little bit more. Rooting the feet, lifting that top hand, opening up the chest, and then inhale, sail up. Turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out, press back into the hips, lower the left hand to the leg, or block. Let your right arm ascend. Roll open through the chest, even if it's just a smidge. Most importantly, breathe.
Good, inhale, come up. Exhale, relax the arms. Okay, we're gonna change up the pose or change up the structure of how we're doing it. Turn the feet so they're square again. Roll your right foot out 90 degrees. Lunge that knee, stack onto the thigh bone. Sail the left arm not only straight up, but across the side of your face. Focus on really powering down through the outer edge of your back foot. Feel what happens to the outer calf when you do that. What happens to the inner thigh when you apply that action. Roll the pinky down, thumb up, rinse out the shoulder, stretch out through your hands. Good, inhale, slowly come up. Lower the hand, turn the right foot, and then rotate the left foot. Lunge the left knee, stack on the thigh, other arm reaches up and over. I think somehow the settings got changed. It's only wanting to play one song at a time. Feel the shape of the body. Feel the energy percolating within. And affirm, I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. Good, inhale, come up. Exhale, turn the foot in. Rotate the right foot out. Now this is what we're gonna do that's different today. We're gonna come down onto the back knee. We're gonna flex the right foot and straighten the right leg. So it's like half splits. Good, sorry Cindy and Julie, you turned away, but you're doing great. Now, this may be what you want today. However, if you want more of that revolving triangle effect, you're gonna twist to the right and sail the right arm skyward. Now, when you're opening into the twist, you're also slightly squeezing the right hip in and give you that IT bend stretch. One last breath. And then exhale, lunge the right knee, stack your hands on top of it, and build up into your half lunge. Now from here, I would suggest, Caitlin, just stay here, because this twist will be too much. Sounds good. So the rest of us though are gonna twist so that the left elbow goes to the outer edge of that front knee, hands to prayer position, and deepen your twist here by using that left arm as leverage to dial the heart towards your thumbs. Exhale, unwind. When you unwind, take your hands down, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, turn your feet the same direction, walk your hands down the seam of the mat, and then you're gonna roll down. Crown of the head's gonna face the floor, Prasarita Padottanasana. You really can do A, B, C, D. You don't even have to think A, B, C, D. If you're more relaxed here, you choose. Last breath before we switch sides. And then once you walk the hands out, we're also going to turn the feet the opposite direction. Eventually come down to the right knee. And you're facing the other way. Good, once here. Back up your hips, lift the left toes. You're residing on the heel and doing a half Hanumanasana. You have the choice to be here. You also have the choice to take that revolving twist. Breathe. Lower the left hand, lunge the front knee, flatten the left foot, stack your hands on top, and just do half lunge. Or the option to take the twist, right elbow to the opposite side of that bent knee, hands glued together,
Lift the navel over the thigh and twist deeper into the pose. Exhale, unwind. Bring the hands back around after you tuck the toes and lift the knee. We're twirling back so that we're coming into this wide stance, forward fold. Getting the benefits of also being inverted. So whichever part of the body is kind of getting flipped upside down, it's going to help the lymph system with that half of the body. So for instance, if our legs were lifted up the wall, right, legs up the wall pose, it would be helping the lymph system in the lower body. Here, it's helping to drain the lymph system in the upper body through the helpful guide of gravity. Now, travel the fingertips forward, lengthen out through the vertebrae. Stack your hands to your hips or waist. Drill the feet into the floor and slowly come to stand. All right, we got one more standing pose. So the right foot's gonna rotate around. The left foot, or left foot rather, will hop to the side so we can square the hips. That's it, Julie. Good, now your hands can either do reverse namaste behind your back, or you can crisscross your arms. See what works better for your hands and for your shoulders. Wing the elbows back. Open the heart and throat. And when you're ready, gently hinge out over the front leg. Ideally, you're gazing towards the foot or beyond. However, if that creates a strain for the neck, then you can neutralize the neck and look more towards your knee. Slow down your breath. Inhale, slowly come up. If your hands are reverse prayer hands, keep them there. If you crisscross them, just cross them the other way. And then you can swivel the feet, turn the opposite direction. Square your hips. Open just a bit as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to cascade slowly over the left leg. Form that deep relationship with your breath. Inhale, slowly start to rise. Good, now release your hands from behind your back. Take your time coming to step to the front side of your mat. So you may have to turn the feet first before you do that. All right, we're gonna stack and stand on the left leg. Left hand to the waist, and you can hold your right knee. And if it's too challenging to hold the knee, you can always just hold it up here. Solo on its own. I find it easier if the foot's flexed versus being relaxed. You can test that out for yourself. And then open the hip to Padangusthasana B. Bring it back in front and lower the foot. Switching sides, stacking and standing on the right and picking up the left. Open to B. Back to A and release. Got the feet if you need to. Going to do tree next, foot to the inner calf, or lifting it to the inner thigh. Arms can really create any formation. Balance and breathe. And release. Whew. Balance is weird today. Left knee turns out. Slide the foot to the calf or inner thigh. Take your time. Find your grounding line through that earth star. Imagine a silver landing line moving down from your hip, through the leg, through the foot, the foundation of this building and beyond. Today. Inhale, let's come to chair with Vinyasa. You can do it the regular way, or you can do it more of this particular style, with the hands together, gazing up, knees still bent. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, roll down, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, stepping it down the mat. Lower into your chaturanga. Building into your up dog. And rolling into your downward facing dog. All right, we're ready to bring it on down to the floor. So if you want to come to your knees, or if you want to hop through to your feet to sit, I'll let you determine what's best. Legs out in front, arms reaching to the sky, thighs pushing down to the floor below, and then exhale, hinge forward. See what's possible, but without pulling or forcing. Now inhale, let your hands slide back and your spine lift up. Let the hands go behind your back. Allow your feet to slide back. Plug the feet down, lift to reverse table. I love the way this feels in the shoulders. Hopefully you do too. Feels good after those chaturangas. And then exhale, land your seat. All right, we're going to take the left leg out. Keep the right knee bent, and the right arm is going to reach beyond. And then you twist, twist, turn, turn to hook it around that front knee. Just do the best you can. That's it, yeah. Left arm reaches, and then it's going to swim behind the back. Feel free to stay more lifted. You also can try bowing over. Now let's release the arms and bring the right foot to slide over to the straight leg. Good, inhale, arms lift up, toes in the head of the knee, stay facing the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're hinging back over and down. We're gonna try something different today. Usually in true Ashtanga primary, there's 3 of these Janu Shashanas. So let's release, slowly back up. We're gonna try to create a little foot action, even though we're not gonna do the full Janu Shasana C. So you're gonna take your left hand up underneath your right heel. And then you're gonna allow the toes to stay on the sticky mat as you lift that heel with your left hand. You're bringing the heel towards the inner thigh or growing, and then allowing the hip to rotate open and the knee to descend. I know it feels awkward, right? And then the fold, of course, would look like that, but we're just activating the foot here. And then you can extend the leg out. That way we're just getting a little bit of that action. All right, now slide your left foot back. Take that left arm and reach it out and beyond. Good. And then you turn the hand and spin the arm to lock it in front of the knee or shin as best you can. Right arm will backstroke. Maybe the hands join, maybe they don't, it's okay. And you can stay more lifted and just work on the binding of the arms. Or you can hinge out and fold and look towards your toes. Typically take at least 5 breaths in these standalone poses. Inhale coming up. And we'll bring that left foot on over. Reaching the arms back up overhead and exhale, forward fold. Janu Shasana. Inhale, you can begin to back away. We're just going to work with this left foot. Janu Shasana C. So the hand will wrap up underneath the heel. You're gliding it a little closer towards the inner thigh, and you're stacked on the smaller toes. Externally rotating in front of the hip, lifting the heart. And of course, if you want to just explore bowing over, that's going to put a lot more pressure on that pinky toe side of the foot that may or may not feel very welcomed right now. All right, crisscross, come forward to the hands. If you want another vinyasa, take plank, rock forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to come back down to a seat. So you can crisscross the ankles, come back down, or you can come down to the knees and just shift back to your seat. All right, so this is where we go into Navasana. I'm going to give Caitlin a different instruction here. So Caitlin, you can be on your forearms. I'm going to do it with Caitlin. You guys do regular Navasana. I want to join her today. You can join us too. But Navasana, you're basically going to get 3 of these in, hold it for like 5 breaths, crisscross, bump up, hold for like 5 breaths, crisscross the other way, bump up. You guys work on your own. I'm going to work with Caitlin. So you're down on the forearms. And instead of, you're doing great as far as not like getting slouchy, and to avoid that slouchiness, you just press through your arms, your chest lifts. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do not as intense core work, just lifting one leg up, still Navasana. And then see if you can get your thighs parallel with each other. Like that, yeah. If that's too much for the baby or the belly, then you can bring it down lower. All right, now we'll step down and take the other one up. I think 2 might be too much, so we're just gonna do single legs. You guys getting your boats in? All right, and then we can come back up. Now, hand the knees apart, feet together, and we'll fold out over the feet. Baddha Konasana. We'll skip our arm balances today. From Baddha Konasana, inhale coming out. So typically we go to the boat, and then we go into the arm balances, and then into these postures we're doing now. But go ahead and come to a position called Parmasana. Feet are wide. They can even be on the wood floor. You're leaning forward and your hands are stacked under your knees. This may be all you can manage. And this is the first phase of Parmasana. So this is the pose, and you can bow your head. Now, if you want the second phase of Parmasana, you flex the feet, you slide the hands through, and come down closer to the floor. And then if you want the third phase, the feet come together like Baddha Konasana, the arms stay under the legs, and the hands wrap around towards the hips like this. And then the final phase, which I cannot demo, is feet behind the head, hands tied together at the low back.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah. Cynthia and I have only seen instructors put students in it.
Oh.
And then if you can't get into yourself, my point,
How are you gonna
my
get out of
thinking
it?
is why get into it at all? Definitely don't try it at home when you're by yourself, because you could literally get stuck in it. And wouldn't that be embarrassing? And then we'll slowly come out of our shell. And then we'll slide the legs out. And here it's very tempting to allow the feet to flop. So you really want to anchor the back of your legs. You're tightening and conditioning your quads. Toes stay lifted and you're hinging forward. Now, some people like to anchor the legs with the hands here, here, or here. You can also have the hands in the middle. Wide angle pose. Slowly back away. Once you back away, slide your feet in. Create that attachment of the first 2 fingers around the big toe. Maybe you just balance on your seat and float the feet. Maybe you can stretch out through the heels and do that same pose we were just doing, just in a different way. Two more breaths. And then bend the knees, bring the feet down. Release your hands, slide your left leg out in front. Caitlin, you're gonna do the twist here, open twist like this. And the rest of us are gonna lift the knee, hug it in, lift through the crown, and stack the right hand behind your back. The sage twist.
Exhale, unwind. Slide your right leg out.
Hook the arm around, but remember we get a little sloppy here when we wrap the arm around the knee. So make sure you fully invest again in lengthening your back before rotating and turning into the twist. That's important if we want to nourish the nerve roots, if we want to give space between each vertebra to lubricate the disc. And channel your breath. All right, we're gonna come down to our backs. Take your time. You may not have a strap, don't worry about that. But your right leg's gonna lift up. When the right leg lifts, see if it's possible. Can you hook your hands behind your thigh? Can you hook it behind your calf? Can you attach it to the foot? Do what's possible. I was checking on you and you can still do it. It's amazing. I was gonna get you a strap. Do you want a strap?
Okay.
You're good, okay. Now keep that left foot active as it reaches away from your body, and keep the top foot active as it reaches up above the body. This is the supine variation of Vinyasa. Now, if you're just using your hands, you're going to release the left hand and hold down that left hip and let the right leg abduct away from your midline. The right hand can slide over to the outside of the leg, holding it in place. Bring it back up to A. Caitlin, you stay here. The rest of us, we're going to lift to C. So C, you're contracting your core, lifting the head up towards the knee, and the left arm's going to sail out towards the front of the room. And then slowly release out of that pose. Slide your right leg down the lane of the mat and sail the left leg skyward. Hook your hands to hold it. See what's possible. Do you need to hold your thigh, calf, foot? Can you stay active in your approach? Muscles engaged. Now slip that right hand down to hold down the right hip and let the leg teeter off to the left side. Vinyasa. Inhale, bring the leg up, back to A. You can do core work, lift C. And then exhale, slowly lower out. Bend both knees. Stay reclined on your back. Coming into bridge pose, so let your arms come down beside your body. Push down through the outer arms and feet to tuck the tailbone and to lift the hips away from the ground. Your glutes are engaged. Your low back is engaged. Exhale, slowly roll it down, one vertebra at a time. And you're going to come into stirrup or tree frog pose, which is drawing the knees in towards your side body. Nice wide opening between them. We're going to do one more bridge after this. Let this counter the last position we were in. Now release the knees, bring the feet back to the floor, arms beside you, tuck and lift again as you breathe in. And then continue to breathe in and out as you hold this position. So feel how your hamstrings are fired up as you pressurize the feet. This is a way to strengthen our hamstrings. Exhale, roll it down. You can go back to tree frog, or you can come to Apanasana, wind release, where the knees are knit together. Choose one or the other as your counter. And roll over to one side of your body and come up. All right. Last week, what inversion did we end with? Can't remember. I know it wasn't headstand, but we're ending with headstand today. So if you want to go to a wall to try it, you can. If you don't want to do headstand today, you don't have to. You could do supported bridge. If you want to use this apparatus where there's no weight on your head and there's no compression in your neck, hold the handlebars. You'll spill the head down. Take the shoulders all the way to the back. And this is a really safe way to do it. And it's fun. So if you want to try this apparatus, I'll help you get into it. You gonna try it? Oh, you've done it. Okay, cool. The head in the hole. Yeah. It doesn't look like a long way down, but then when you get here, it's like, whoa, that's not good. Shoulders in the right spot. Your shoulders are great. I can help. Yeah. Nice. And then you can just relax your head. Feels good. And when you're ready to come out of your headstand, you can take child's pose as a counter. Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Right, you're ready for our Vinyasa once you have your counter. So you'll find that with the Ashtanga practice, because there is more movement, more of a flow element, sometimes it's really nice just to have that bolster under the knees. That way it's catering to the low back. I'm going to switch out the music here.
Once you get settled into the right positioning for you today, rest your eyes. Coming back to the colors of silver and gold. And I know we play with color when we mention the chakras and how it represents the rainbow from the red at the base, moving upstream to orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I mentioned at the beginning of class, the earth star at the feet, the sun star at the head. And if you've ever listened to someone who is tapped in, clairvoyant, they often say that they see a silver cord attached to each person. I want you to imagine this silver energetic cord, almost like an umbilical cord, of what brings the mother and the baby together. However, our umbilical cord, our silver cord that we're imagining that's going down through the body, through the feet, it's going to be our landing line down to Mother Earth, to Mother Gaia. And just as the mother feeds the infant in her womb, the earth is feeding us, nurturing us. At the same time, picturing that golden disc over your head. Imagine it being like, almost like a boomerang effect. You go out, comes right back. Philosophy would often mention, what we reap, we sow. What we sow, we shall reap. So consider what thoughts, words, and actions we're putting out to the world. Are we doing that from our divine essence? Are we noticing our blessings? And are we being a blessing to others? Silver is where we've been. The gold is where we're heading. Both are precious. For the next few minutes, just enjoy some quiet time. See where this vision quest takes you. Go ahead and begin to deepen the flow of your breath. Begin to add in a little movement into your hands and feet. Once you've added in some movement and breath work, slide over to one side, build yourself up to a seat. Sitting upright, eyes closed. Bringing your palms together in prayer. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Today. You're welcome.